So I saw a couple of drills that I've never seen before out here today.
Which ones?
The blue ball bouncing off of people.
Oh, we've been throwing that thing. We throw it at them every now and then.
Is it
Y'all just probably hadn't seen it.
kind of good to get that ball security this early in camp?
It's just one of those concentration things with the receiver. You know, we do what we call blaster drill all the time. Sometimes it's with the pass, sometimes it's with the ball. But that trying to create that feeling of when you know you're going to get hit, like you know it. It's not a question. Like you know it, and having those little eyes and really being able to focus and absorb the hit, you know. And so it's a good, safe way to kind of create that feeling without, you know, having a body on a body. So just a little practice drill.
Coach, you got Troy back at wide receiver today, but full go. But Joseph wearing yellow.
He'll be fine. He had a great play the other day and just kind of came down really kind of hard. Made a great play, but just kind of held him for probably a day or so. But he'll hopefully be ready to go in a couple of days to scrimmage on Saturday. So he's had a great start, really good start. In fact, it was a really great play. He'll be fine.
Coach, y'all are ranked 4th in the preseason coaches poll.
Wow, man! Wow.
Any reaction to that?
No. It's kind of like I tell our players. I ask them, you know, every year. Brian, did you get that text I sent you on, congratulating you on preseason All-American? Trenton? You got that text, right? You know, and they all look at me like I'm like, good. You'll never get that text. All right. If you ever do, then let me know. No, I don't really care about any of that stuff. I mean, we ranked last year and we finished 15th. So that's the only thing that mattered. You know, at the end of the year, we finished 15th, and that heck of a finish, and that team was unbelievably committed. So it's just something to talk about right now. It doesn't have anything to do with December or November. So all that'll be determined by what happens on the field. Kind of like those recruiting rankings, right? You know, they do that re-rank that every year somebody does it, and very, very seldom have we not been ranked higher 4 years later than we were when we signed them. So, you know, that's all based on performance and not potential. And so, I think we've got a chance to be a good team, but we've got a lot of work to do.
What do you look for going into that first scrimmage? I mean, obviously it's still early in camp, and
well, I mean, right now we got a lot that we're doing on both sides of the ball, just really installing everything. And so that first scrimmage is it's the first time they've played football, and so it's the first time really that everything up until that point is practice and situational stuff, and you have Thursday we'll have a little bit of live, because that's the first day we can go full pads. But it's really that first, live day, and now you're trying to take everything you've been working on for, whatever that is at the time, 10 practices, and okay, let's see what else is stuck, and kind of see what we got to, go back over, and then also just challenging the coaches, because it's a scrimmage. When we get out there on Saturday, it's not scripted, and so you have to respond and react to the situation that now I will create some things, but and that's a way to kind of challenge the staff from a preparation standpoint. So and then just kind of see where some of these guys are. I mean, who is that by then? It's the 9th or 10th practice, whatever it is. There's a lot that's going in. So where are some of these younger guys mentally? Where are we physically on both sides up front? I'm anxious to see that. So hopefully it's going to be a battle.
You feel like you're ahead of schedule from an installment standpoint?
I'd say we're right on schedule. We came in, we prepare all that stuff coming into camp, and we haven't had to pull back or anything like that. So we're just kind of right on schedule where we plan to be.
What do you see from Antonio Williams the first few days?
Oh, he's quick as a cat. He's a really instinctive player. He's still got a lot going on, trying to maximize all of his reps. But he's just all three of those freshmen. I mean, I couldn't be more pleased. I mean, that's a great group. Adam Randle, he had the fastest wide receiver time in practice the other day. We GPS all these guys. He had the fastest time of all the wide receivers. I looked at it again. I'm like, wait a minute. And he ran like 20 miles an hour or something like that. It was crazy. And he's a true freshman. And he's just I saw enough in him in the spring, but I haven't had a chance to have Cole and Antonio. And, man, they're two exciting prospects. Cole Turner, he hadn't dropped a ball. He catches everything. I mean, if he touches it, he catches. He's got some of the most natural ball skills and just body control and reactionary ability to wherever the ball is. Everything he touches, he catches. And he's a kid that needs a year in the weight room. But I'm telling you, that kid right there is going to be special. And then Antonio is just like I told you all the other day, he's just a really smooth, very knowledgeable young player. And he's got a lot of good experience, and he's played ball at a high level, in this state, and he's had a lot of success. And you see that in him. He's still got to get stronger, and we still got to bring him along, and he's competing with some pretty good vets out here. And so we got a good group, man. Receivers it's been a real bright spot for us in the camp. I'm really proud, man. E.J. Williams he made a couple really great plays that you saw, that freshman year. So that group has been a positive, and I'd say the same thing with our secondary guys too. It's been a very competitive 3 days.
You think Cole could help you in the punt return game?
I think Cole could help us anywhere. I just don't know that we'll need him this year. And he really needs a year in that weight room. But if we need him, yes. I mean, he's one of the fastest kids on this team, and just incredibly explosive guy. And he just naturally does it. He's played 2 years of football. Like Rook coming in here. Just this small kid. He's played 2 years of football. And you show up and you just got all this stuff to work with. I think we're in a good spot as far as our return game right now. I wouldn't waste a year on that with the guys that we have. But hopefully he's a guy I can hold. That we saw what happened last year, so I don't ever know. But he could really benefit because I do think he's got a chance to be a really, really special player.
With Randle getting that speed, is he anywhere closer to being ready?
Yeah, he's like I said, way ahead of where he's supposed to be. So, I think he'll be somewhere in September. We'll see him somewhere in there. And what day it is, I don't know, but I think that's where he's tracking.
How much different is Cade from what you saw in the spring to when he comes out here and he's ready to go in the fall?
Just more confident, more knowledgeable. Third time to get the installation, and you can tell he's obviously put in a ton of work on his own. Which doesn't surprise you. That's just kind of how he's wired. He's a real football junkie type guy, and a really good leader. But really, it's just slowed down a little bit for him. He knows right where to go with the ball, and when he makes mistakes, he can process it right away. So he's just, as we said the other day, he's the best we've seen him. The best version of him, and so he's done what we asked him to do.
You got any clarity on the punting situation?
No, we got a long way to go. I mean, I thought, Aiden had a really bad first day, and then he came out the next day, and maybe it was because y'all weren't here. And he was, unbelievable on Saturday. I mean, just, and so that's, he's got to find a way to be consistent. He can do it. It might have been the worst punting drill I've ever seen in my life the first day. It was awful. We're going for it on fourth down. But then you come back the next day, and day two, man, Aiden was awesome. Won the day. We had a big punting competition, and so we didn't punt today. But we got a long way to go there. I mean, I feel good about our protection. I feel good about our personnel, but we'll be ready. But we're not ready right now. We got a long way to go.
You said last week that you thought it's seen a lot of hunger and the intangibles to be great. Have you seen that in the first 3 days?
Oh yeah. They're just very engaged, man. In fact, Lewis Riddick came and spoke to our team today, and that was one thing he said to me. He said, "Man, he's got just the focus that these guys had, and just eyes, paying attention, really everybody engaged, and that's what we've had from day one with this group. I mean, just a very engaged, focused team, and I love that. I mean, and they respond. They're not perfect, but when we really challenge them on something, I mean, they respond, which is a sign of good leadership and ownership and buying into what we need them to do. They're hungry to get in pads. As Nick Easton said on day 4, God made Rydell, and that's tomorrow. So we get the pads on tomorrow, and I think they're all they're tired of all this. It's hard. You have to. The way everything's structured now, you got a lot of days when you're in vests, and so it takes a little while to really learn how to practice that way without. Because they're ready to go. They're chomping at the bit to get after it, and they will if you don't have some type of structure in place. So I'm thankful we can get the shoulder pads on tomorrow. I think it protects us a whole lot more, at least with the shells when we're doing, our team stuff and things like that, or just guys falling, So.
Vest notwithstanding, first impressions of Keith Adams Jr.
Yeah, he's running around out here in shorts, and looks like a football player, but again, you got to put the pads on and let's see what we got. So it's going to be a tough week. It's going to be a big week and a half coming up for these guys, and because now we add the physical part to the mental part. These first 3 days, there's some physical part from conditioning and running around and all that, but now you put the pads on, you add another whole element to the mental aspect of the game, and so we'll see. He's a great-looking kid. He's a very engaged guy, and we know what he did in high school, and easy to see his toughness. But yeah, 3 days of shorts with running back. I can't. He's great in his drills, and we all tracking. So everybody looks good out here right now.
We talked to Will Shipley the other day. He's pretty hard on himself about the moment last year. At times, he said it was too big for him. Did you see that at times, or is he just a freshman who